I know I went a little crazy in the beginning there. Added a few effects, some vocoder effects. I've been playing a lot with that. If you notice, I made a crazy video on YouTube where I was doing a T-Pain impersonation. Of course, I didn't do a very good job at it, but it's all good. Welcome to the show. This is Antonio Edward at MobiCast, and today I just want to talk about the different kinds of mobile phones out there. You can get several different kinds, but I'm not going to talk about the different makes and models. I'm just going to talk about the OS. You got Windows Mobile. The only difference I will mention is Windows Mobile 6.5 and Windows Phone 7. I also want to talk about Android and the iPhone, as well as BlackBerry, and then other phones out there. There are so many different phones, and I just wanted to say that in the past few shows, I talked about Microsoft Tag and QR code, and then my last show was about why isn't your site mobile? If you have a weblog of some sort, or if you have some kind of site of any type, or even a Joomla site, a Drupal site, there are mobile plugins that you can easily install to make your site mobile. And I strongly suggest to investigate it, to look into it, find out which plugins will be best for you and for your site, and make your site mobile. If your site is just HTML, you just have text and a few pictures, maybe a couple pages, again, make it mobile. Make it where it will detect automatically that the person is using a mobile phone. It will go to that mobile website and automatically. And there's no bones, there's no tricks about it. It's just strictly automatic. It goes to the mobile site. It can tell the difference between a mobile phone and a laptop or a standard computer. And this is very important because in order for your site to be mobile, you have to make sure that you design it where it's easy to browse. It has to be easy. It has to be nice looking. Google is a good example. Very plain, just a bunch of text and maybe a simple graphic at the top. Google has a lot of different services that keeps people on. So does Yahoo. Yahoo used to be like Google, where it was very plain. It just had a bunch of categories, and you just clicked on the categories and you went to where you want to go. Now it's not just categories. They got a bunch of stuff going on, but it's still easy to navigate. You go to yahoo.com, just the main homepage, and from there you're just shown everything that Yahoo has to offer. And whether you decide to go there or here, to music, to celebrity gossip like Oh My God, I think it's OMG, to Flickr, which is owned by Yahoo. I mean, there's so many different websites out there that you can go to. YouTube, they simplified YouTube. Very simple, easy to navigate, not very hard to use. Flickr is probably one of the best photo albums online because it's easy to use and it's very simple. Plus, they have a mobile version. You go to Flickr.com on your mobile phone, and you will pull up a mobile version of Flickr. Actually, I think it's m.flickr.com, and you can go to a mobile version of your Flickr page. Very easy to use again, and I strongly suggest making sure that you make your site mobile. There are too many free plugins that you can add to your Joomla site, Drupal, um, and also WordPress, and a lot of other content management and blogging systems out there that will allow you to make your site mobile. Take advantage of it. It's free. Okay, it won't cost you a lot of money if you're using Drupal, Joomla, or WordPress or something like that. Now, today I just want to get into the different OSs of phones. I'm not going to talk about the make and model. I'm just going to talk about the OS. Windows Mobile 6.5. When I say Windows Mobile, I mean Windows Mobile 6.5. When I say Windows Phone, I mean Windows Phone 7. Talk about the Android. We can talk about the iPhone. We could talk about BlackBerry, which is RIM, which is the most popular smartphone on the market. And so we have to consider that when you have all these mobile phones, what do you choose? How do you choose which phone you want to use? And if you are a company, if you are a corporation, a large corporation or a small corporation, a large company or a small company, which mobile phone will be best to give to your employees? We're going to talk about that too, and we're going to get into it more deeper. In the meantime, take a small break, and I'll be right back. This is MobiCast. Hi, I want to thank you for coming back. This is Antonio Everett again for MobiCast. If you want to contact me at any time, just hit me up at Antonio at mobicast.mobi. That's Antonio at mobicast.mobi. That's my email address. Just send me an email. Let me know how I'm doing. To say, hey, you're doing a good job. That's nice. To receive that from people who do listen to this show. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, MobiCast was not available on Twitter, so I had to get MobiCast Mobi. The links are on the page. You can also do a search in Facebook, and I'm also on Facebook. Just look for MobiCast Mobi. Actually, just search for MobiCast, I believe. I need 6 more people in order to make Facebook its own username where it can be facebook.com/mobicastmobi. But you can find me there, and you can also find me on Flickr. If you have any photos you want to share, just go to the Flickr group page, and that's flickr.com/mobicastmobi, and just add your favorite mobile phone pics. If you don't have a Flickr account, definitely start one. It does cost some money per year, unfortunately, but it's a great site. I mean, I use Flickr. I take every single picture I take, no matter how messed up it is. It could be even the oops pictures. except for very private pictures. You know what I mean? I share on Flickr. So definitely check it out. And my Flickr page is flickr.com/labinex, and you can find my pictures there. I just have every single picture that you can ever imagine located there. So we that music you just heard is called Venture, and Venture is a new piece of music that I just created, and just wanted to showcase it. It's just shortened version of it. If you want to hear the extended version, just go to my website labinex.com. Just go to labinex.com, and you'll be able to hear the music there. So mobile phones. There's a lot of different mobile phones out there. Some are my personal favorite. I'll talk about my personal favorites, but I'm also going to be, I'm not going to state which ones are the best and which ones are not. First, I want to talk about what the differences are. I've had a Windows phone. My first smartphone was a Windows Mobile 6.1. Windows Mobile 6.1, it did its job. It really worked great. It synced up really well with my Microsoft Exchange account. And at work, I was able to get all my emails from work. I was able to, install Communicator and communicate with people at work. And so we had an Exchange account. We had Microsoft Communicator. We had Microsoft Office and SharePoint. And I was able to do a lot of that stuff on my phone, which is a great thing because that's how most companies have. Most companies have a SharePoint site. Most companies have an Exchange server. Most companies have something that works really great for that company. And so, in my opinion, if you're using mostly Microsoft products at work, then it may behoove you to only use Windows mobile phones because a Windows mobile phone can communicate directly with your SharePoint server with all your documents and stuff like that. One thing that's really good about Windows Phone 7, in the previous article, it wasn't a podcast, it was just a blog post on my website, mobicast.mobi, is that I talked about Windows Mobile 7, and it's actually called the Windows Phone 7. And it was really great. I mean, they had a demonstration, some demos, and I put on there some things about Windows Phone 7, and it's supposed to work directly with your Microsoft products servers that you have at work. Even if you don't have that at work and you just want to use the free service online, you just use the Microsoft Office Online, sign up with an account with your live account, and then sync it up with your phone. All your documents will be available on your phone as well as online. Any changes you make on your phone automatically updates online, whether you have a SharePoint site or Microsoft Office Online. It is really great. I think that's going to be the phone to use for companies and corporations that are using Microsoft products for most of their for almost everything they do there. If your company is using Google Apps, if you're using Google Apps Enterprise or Google Apps Nonprofit or Google Apps Government, anything that deals with Google, you can sync your Android to the Google server. And so I believe for companies that are using Google Apps should think about using the Google server or getting the Android for all their employees so that they can communicate better with the services that are available on Google. And then if you're using iPhone, I believe an iPhone can be a business phone. Okay, that's more of a personal opinion there. You may hear a lot of people I may get some people emailing me talking about, well, I use my iPhone and it syncs up with my Microsoft Exchange server just fine, and it does this and it does that, and it does everything I want it to do. And there's an app for that. There is an app for that. And that's true. There is an app for almost everything. I think the only thing that the iPhone cannot do is clean up your house. Oh, wait a minute. There is an app for that too. There's tons of housekeeping apps out there that can assist you with cleaning your house. It may not do it. It may not actually do it. It is definitely not Centennial Man walking around the house cleaning up your house, but it's. I think an iPhone has it's the advantage. Excuse me for hitting the microphone. The advantage of using iPhone is the fact that there are a ton of apps, a quadrillion amount of apps that are available for the Windows phone. I'm sorry, for the iPhone that people can use. When I go to the Windows Marketplace, the Microsoft Marketplace, and I'm searching for an app, there aren't really a whole lot of apps available. And some of their apps cost like $30, $6, whereas most apps on the iTunes network is 99 cents. The most expensive app on there that I've seen, well, I saw an app for like $1,000 actually. And that was more like the medical industry apps that doctors will use to download to their phone. Imagine on your iPhone that you can access all of your doctoral databases right on your phone. Well, those professional apps are $1,000 or more, whether it's on a BlackBerry, Windows Mobile, or any other type of phone. But that's one thing I have to say is that the iTunes network has a crap load of apps. I mean, it's so many apps. It's just unbelievable as all the things you can do on the iPhone that most other phones don't have. So I mean, I just cannot believe it. In fact, I'm just looking at right now that CNN says that the iPhone, the iTunes for your iPad or iPhone or iTouch, there's over 50,000 apps available for the iPhone. Now, does Android have the same? Let's see. Android, and I'm not finding that information really quick. I'm doing a search for it right now. So it's not available right now. It's not able to give you like, bam, there's the answer. But there are a lot of apps for Android too. And one thing that's great about the iPhone and the Android, I think they're the most powerful phones in the network. Android has good power behind it. It's able to multitask. It's able to run multiple apps. You know, just like in the commercials, they say you can run multiple apps at one time, multitasking. What the Android does, it's they have like a certain saying. I can't think on top of my head, but Android is a very good has a very good architect, and I believe that any company that uses Google Apps for their corporation should get the Android, because the Android will probably be better fitted for a better fit. I mean, for the Android phone. Android, Google Apps. Android, Google Apps. I think it would just work really well together because you can sync it up. You can communicate with it. It will do all the emails. It would the calendars, the task, plus the Google Sites will work with it. Google Docs will work with the Android. So I think the Android has a better potential if you're using it on a Google Apps server. Okay, Google Apps is free for personal use, and basically I use Google Apps. My wife uses Google Apps, and since we have our own domain names, and I have several, I have ymp.net, I have whynot.tv. Well, my main one is whynot.tv, but how I have it is that all my emails forward to me at whynot.tv. That's my main email address. But I really don't give that email address out, and I don't care if you use it or not. I really don't care. But Antonio at mobicast.mobi automatically forwards to me at whynot.tv, and that's how I get my emails. I get my emails from a lot of different kinds. I own a business called I Am At, which I'm still working on right now. And my email address with I Am At is Antonio at iam@mobi. That goes to the same email address. So they all work together and it's automatically filtered to go into certain folders. And that's one thing that's good about Google Apps is that, or Google Mail through Google Apps, is that it allows me to filter the exact same way you do rules in Microsoft Outlook. Now, if you're definitely using Google type applications, I would strongly suggest the Android. Even though Android has the capability of doing Exchange, it does, but you're not going to be able to take full advantage of the Exchange server as you would if you're using a Windows Mobile 7 or Windows Phone 7. Now I know I keep getting those two mixed up. Windows Phone has the architecture to run a powerful phone, especially if you get the really good expensive phone. Something that costs like $1.99 or $2.99 on a 2-year contract. And Windows Phone 7 has the capability, I believe, to be that phone for you if your company is Microsoft out. Okay, I'm talking about if it's everything Microsoft. You got Microsoft Office Professional, you got Windows XP Professional or Windows 7 Professional, you have Microsoft Exchange Server 7, or 7, right? There are 7. I'm not exactly sure about that. If you're using Exchange Server, if you're using SharePoint Server, if you're using Communicator, I mean, your Windows Mobile should be able to handle every single thing that you do on your computer right on your mobile phone. And looking at some of the demo videos that are on the windowsphone.com website, it's amazing what this phone can do as far as Microsoft is concerned. So if you're an IT personnel, if you're an IT person and you're tasked at selecting which phone will be best for your employees, in October this year, the Windows Phone 7 will be coming out. I strongly suggest Windows Phone. Okay? Android is a good phone. It does a lot. It's multitasking. It's very powerful. And I have a friend who lives in Mesa who does this online podcast or video cast, actually. And it's live. And it's very laid back. Extremely laid back. But he is in love with his Android. He is, I say if he can marry the Android, he would. Him and his girlfriend both, they both host a show, and his name is Nick Stanbury. Nick Stanbury, I used to work with him at University of Phoenix, and about under a year ago, and he's a really cool guy, and he was the one that told me about Android. The only thing is, I'm already signed up with AT&T, and I already bought my wife the iPhone, and I don't want to get it chipped or anything like that, so I'm like, that's fine. Let me just stick with AT&T. AT&T doesn't have a good Android phone. Sure, they got that Motorola, but I've heard some really bad things about that phone. And I think it's called the Backflip, right? The Backflip, I heard, is really good for people who are on social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter. You can't do a whole lot of customizing of the phone. It's very limited because they limit the amount of things you can do on the phone, whereas the Android phones that are available on Verizon, they're unlocked. You can pretty much do what you want on the phone, and you can take it to any network. So yes, you can get an Android from Verizon, bring it over to AT&T, and I believe you can hook it up by doing some programming of the phone and then getting it connected on the AT&T network. So I believe that's a possibility, but that's to be seen, of course. But I've heard people doing it already. This show is not about hacking, okay? I will let you know that right now. It's not about hacking or reprogramming your phones. I'm talking about getting phones. This show is all about the phones you have out of the box, installing applications that you can either buy or get for free, and using it. I'm not going to talk about hooking up little, wires to the phone, trying to burn the chip off of it, or do any type of hacks on it, like the iPhone hacks and stuff like that. The what they call it, the iPhone jail phone or something like that. I'm not talking about any of that. Now, BlackBerry has been the most popular phone amongst the corporate world. The BlackBerry is a very powerful phone. It's probably like a souped up Palm Pilot. It has everything you want: the calendar, the emails. It's got the texts, you know, voicemails, of course. It's got everything you need right there on the BlackBerry. The only thing about BlackBerry, it is strictly that. It does what it does, and there's a lot of programs available on the BlackBerry market. Okay, but it pretty much does what it does. Out of the box, it does what it does, and it's pre-packaged with almost everything you need for a business. Okay, it's you buy a BlackBerry, you got everything you need, pretty much. You got almost everything you need. There may be a couple extra software you want to throw into it. It's like, okay, I need this, I need that. Okay, I definitely need the Microsoft Tag Reader. Bloop. I need a QR code reader. Bloop. Okay, there we go. Let me get a couple games and customize the ring and maybe add a few themes to it. Okay, there we go. There's my BlackBerry. Whereas Windows Mobile and iPhone even, it comes pre-packaged with emails. Some of the Windows phones have Microsoft Office installed as a part of it, so you don't have to pay for it. Like mine did. I have the HTC Peer, which is a replacement of my Samsung Epics. My Samsung Epics stopped working. I turned in for assurance, got the HTC Peer, and it works great. It's a Windows Mobile 6.5, and it works great. It's got the little, I can scroll up and down very easily. It's easy to navigate. It does everything, but it's still not a powerful phone. As like my wife has an iPhone 3GS, and it's virtually impossible to break it because it just does everything you want it to do. One thing that's good about Microsoft is that Microsoft has the marketplace now. So whenever I install something on the marketplace, if I broke this phone and got another HTC Peer, I can sync it up and get all my apps back. I don't have to worry about downloading apps that I don't have to worry about syncing it up or having to re-download all the apps that I forgot about. Anything like that. Everything's right there. It's just sync it up, everything installs. Within a few minutes, I got everything I ever wanted because it syncs up with your Microsoft Outlook as well. All my emails are there already. I mean, it's like 15 minutes. My phone is back to what it was before. Using the Microsoft My Phone is also great too. Microsoft My Phone, what it does is syncs up your text, a lot of your files that's on the main memory. It even stores a lot of stuff that you have on your memory stick as well. Okay, one thing that's good about that is Microsoft My Phone has limits, so you can't put everything that you have on your memory stick unless your memory stick is under a certain amount of size, a certain size. Whereas my memory stick is 8 gigabytes, so I'm not going to be able to back up every single thing I have unless I plug it in my computer and sync it up that way. So the after sync works great. Sometimes I have to reset it in order to sync it up again. So there's a couple issues with that Windows 6.5, but hopefully with Windows Phone 7, they would have fixed a lot of those issues, because imagine there are a lot of people out there who do not know how to program anything. When they get the phones from the IT personnel, they should be able to get a phone that works. Boom, there's a phone in their hand. It's already synced up with the Exchange server. It's already synced up with their SharePoint site. It's already doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, there's not a whole lot more that I have to put into it than just start using it. And start, editing, document files, PowerPoint presentations, and stuff like that. The iPhone is a really great phone too. The iPhone has is a very powerful architecture there, especially the iPhone 4. Even though they had their antenna problems, That's going to be fixed. That's going to be fixed. Okay. Whether Steve Jobs and his IT people, his designers and developers knew about it or not, the antenna issue, so what? Okay. It's going to get fixed. The phone itself is badass. And I'm going to say that again. It's badass. It does everything you want it to do. My wife has an iPhone 3GS. It works great. Sometimes I'm using her phone to get information because it's faster than my Windows Mobile 6.5. And again, I really do hope that Microsoft pulls off the Windows Phone 7 because I tend to lean towards Microsoft. I really do. I like Microsoft products. I like what it does. It syncs up really well with everything. And I do hope that Windows Mobile or Windows Phone 7 does what it's supposed to do when it gets released in October. And hopefully they make their release time. They're a little late, Microsoft. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Microsoft. You guys are late as hell. What's wrong with you guys? You guys should have came out at the exact same time as the iPhone 4. Oh, that would have been right, wouldn't it have? Well, maybe Microsoft know what they're doing, and we'll see what happens with the. But it seems like to me that Windows Phone 7 is not going to be in direct competition with iPhone. I don't believe that. I believe that their concentrations are on BlackBerry, RIM. I think they're concentrating on taking over the Android market because there's always been a battle between Google and Microsoft. But if you notice, there hasn't really been that much of a battle between Apple and Microsoft. Yes, Apple has put out those commercials. Sure they did. They have those commercials where there's a PC, a big guy in a suit and tie, and a very skinny dude wearing just, business casual. Just a button-up, shirt or a T-shirt. He's just chilling, and he's like the cool guy. He doesn't say anything bad about PC. He never says anything bad. If you notice that, he never talks about the PC in a bad way. He only talks about the his Mac. He's just answering the questions like, "So how you doing? Yeah. So we heard this before. Yep. He's that kind of guy. Whereas the smart aleck PC guy is always trying to find a way to make his PC look better. Okay. So as outside of that, Microsoft kept it smart and they kept it cool. They came up with a crap load of Windows 7 commercials for the desktops and laptops, and they were just pushing those out big time. Like, this is my idea, Windows 7, something like that. Great marketing because they didn't attack the Apple. They kept it, they kept it cool. And I have to say that about Microsoft. They kept it cool. They didn't go after them, like how Verizon and AT&T was battling it out there for a minute. That was a huge battle. What the hell was up with that? Why did Verizon attack AT&T and force AT&T to come back and say, "Oh, but we got more coverage. Bam, bam. We got this city, we got that city. We cover that city too." Yeah. Verizon, shame on you. AT&T, you didn't have to stoop to their level. You did not have to stoop down to their level. Okay? You really did not. So, they could have said leading provider, or competitors, stats, or they could have said, and AT&T doesn't cover as much as Verizon. Something very simple, right? They didn't have to, go into the deep hardcore like showing a map of Verizon, the 3G map, and showing the 3G map of AT&T as, as being an empty map, pretty much. That's true. AT&T doesn't have as much 3G coverage, but I damn well sure as if I am flat and on Highway 65 in the middle of nowhere, I will guarantee you that 95% of the time I'll be able to get some type of cell phone abilities in that area. There'll be something out there. I can at least punch in a number and call my insurance provider for roadside assistance. But I mean, let's just say it like this. Every cell phone company has good points and has bad points. I mean, Sprint, a lot of people like Sprint. There's a lot of people who will only go with Sprint and that's it because they had bad experiences with other providers. So they only stick with Sprint. There are some people who only stick with AT&T. That's me. I like AT&T. It works great for me. It may not necessarily work great for you. So, that's another thing too. BlackBerry, so just kind of retouch a little bit. BlackBerry is a great phone for business. It has fun capabilities as well. It does what it does, and it's pre-packaged, ready to go, right out the box. With everything you need: a web browser, email, text. Some have camera phones on it. Some are touchscreen, some are not, and it's really great. It's a really great phone by itself. The iPhone is considered the fun phone. But you'll have a lot of iPhone users out there who will stand by and say iPhone is also a business phone because it has the capabilities. And that is very true. There's a lot of business apps. There's an app for that out there that will work on the iPhone, as well as all the fun stuff, okay? Apple iPhone is not just about the Facebook application. It's not just about the Twitter application that you can download. There's a ton of apps, like how to find the nearest gas station, how to know where all the police are staking out, where they're hiding to catch you speeding. Stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of great apps that you can download for your iPhone. Foursquare is another one. There's a ton of them out there. And whether you're a housewife or you're a businesswoman, a businessman, a house husband, if you're working in the streets, if you're working in the office, no matter what your job is, there is an app for that on iPhone, and I guarantee you'll be able to find it somewhere. Okay? Android, I believe, is a great phone too. And if you're using Google products, if you have Google Gmail account, and it syncs with all other emails too, even Microsoft Exchange, but I do believe that the Android will work better with Google Apps than the Windows Phone, than the iPhone even. Okay, the apps that are made for Android does have more capabilities with the Google server, more so than any other phone out there. Windows Mobile 6.5 is pretty standard. And a lot of people who have Windows Mobile doesn't really know they have a Windows Mobile phone. They don't really know it. Okay, I can't count the amount of people. I say, hey, what kind of phone do you have? Wow, and they're like, yeah, what kind of phone is it? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know what kind of phone it is? It's so funny. I mean, it's so funny, but it's true. A lot of Windows Mobile phone users don't know what kind of phone it is. But I guarantee you that Windows Phone 7 is going to challenge the Android and the BlackBerry. Not so much the Apples or the iPhones, I mean. Not so much Apple, okay? I just have a good feeling about that. You're not going to see too many Apple products. I mean, you're not going to see too many comparisons with Windows Phone 7 and iPhone. It's just not going to happen. You're going to see a whole lot of people trying to see if they're going to either get a BlackBerry or Windows 7 for their company. Because BlackBerry's been in business forever, BlackBerry may win, but Windows Mobile 7 or Windows Phone 7, they're going to have to fight hard to make their name known to everybody in the IT community, to show that their phones will work better with Microsoft products than any other phone in the market. Imagine you're on the road and you're watching a PowerPoint presentation live while you got your Bluetooth on and you can talk to the conference while you're sitting with the phone sideways looking at the PowerPoint. You can pre-approve the PowerPoint. You say, hey, send me that part, upload it to the SharePoint server. Okay, I got it. Let me see. Yeah, we got to correct this, we got to correct that. Save. Now pull it up. You see it? You see the changes? Yes, I do. Great. Go ahead and show that. I can make changes on the PowerPoint documents, spreadsheets, and regular Word documents on the fly on the Windows Phone 7 according to what I see in the video demonstrations on YouTube and at windowsphone.com. It's going to be an awesome phone. You can't deny it. Look at those videos. Don't just have, you're just automatically thinking, nah, Windows Phone sucks. Windows 6.5 sucks. Yes, it's true. Windows 6.5 doesn't compare to the Android. It does not compare to the iPhone, and it comes nowhere near the BlackBerry. But I guarantee you that Windows Phone 7 will. Check it out. Check out those videos. I hope Microsoft does not disappoint me because, like I said, I am a little bit more towards a Microsoft. Once my business gets going good, I will provide my employees with Windows Phone 7 handsets. And my personal phone will be an iPhone because I like the iPhone too. Okay, I'm kind of back and forth on that. It'll be great because if I can have an Android, an iPhone, and a BlackBerry, and a Windows Phone 7, it'll be nice to have, especially since we're doing this damn podcast here called mobicast.mobi, right? Because I can tell you guys which ones are good. Again, I give a lot of my personal opinion. At the same time, I try to stay open on what phones that are really great for the corporate businesses out there, and for personal use as well. BlackBerry's great phones. If your company's been using it for years, why change the infrastructure? Okay, don't change it. But for newer companies that are just now, okay, they got the venture capital, they're able to get all this brand new equipment, install Exchange and SharePoint, and get all this stuff going for their employees. Get Windows Phone 7. After 6 months of it proving itself. Once it proves itself, then I will say get it. Okay, you got to wait that 6 months. That's why I'm glad I'm waiting 6 months to get the iPhone 4. I don't know yet what I'm going to get. You guys will find out. Okay, I'm going to let you guys know whether I get the iPhone 4 or Windows Phone 7. That's to be seen. We'll see in October. That'll give iPhone time to fix its issues and Windows Phone 7 to come out. Well, anyway, I'm way past my usual time, 30 minutes. I'm at 42 minutes right now, going on 43. And I just want to say thank you very much for listening to the show. Again, contact me, Antonio at mobicast.mobi. That's Antonio at mobicast.mobi. You can also find me on Facebook. Just look for MobiCast. Just find me on Facebook and like it. There's a link on the website too. Just go to mobicast.mobi. That's www.mobicast.mobi, either on your phone or on your computer. That's right. It is a mobile website as well. You can find me on Twitter at mobicastmobi. That's mobicastmobi. Make sure you include all of that. And if you have any Flickr, please only upload mobile phone pictures, whether it's a picture of a mobile phone or it's a picture taken by a mobile phone. And in your description, just explain, hey, taken on a, iPhone, or, just kind of explain it so that I know what kind of picture it is. Because if it's a picture that's not related to mobile phones, I'm going to delete the picture. Okay? 45 minutes coming up. So you guys take it easy. Thank you very much. And come back again, okay?
MobiCast. 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 Android out there, wave it in the air. You got the iPhone out there, wave it high in the air now. That's right. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. MobiCast. MobiCast. That's right. y'all. Reach me at mobicast.mobi. Peace out.